Just let us know when we're actually activated so we can apologize for technical difficulties. So, St. Francis and Ohio playing today in field hockey. These two teams matched up last year as Ohio trying to get an attack going. As apologies for missing the first minute of this game. A little bit of technical difficulties. We got it going now. Here from Pruitt Field in Athens, Ohio. Carl Blaylock, Charlie James with you. Ohio with a little bit of an attack here. Into the net and score. And Ohio will get a goal early in this one at the 13:37 mark of the first quarter.
It was a good play through the midfield by the Bobcats, working the ball around well. Some crisper passing than we're used to from this Ohio team. Sasha Dakota, definitely no stranger to the back of the net. Made no mistake there. Put it home. 1-0 Bobcats.
Ohio goal scored by number 14, Sasha Dakota.
Dakota has definitely been an offensive presence for the Bobcats so far this year. She's been lighting up the goal sheet.
It's her third goal on the season.
Third goal on the year. And definitely looking to keep her going as we continue through this 2022 campaign.
Ohio trying to move the ball up. They've possessed the ball pretty much the entirety of the 2 minutes we played so far. And once again, they're driving again. Into the semicircle, taken away by St. Francis.
Definitely working better through the midfield is Ohio. That's been a big problem for them over the last couple games, especially over that 5-6 game skid that they had. Working the ball down the field has been a big issue, but we'll see if we can get that going. We'll see if we can correct the ship here against St. Francis.
Ohio possessed the ball and taken away by St. Francis. Good job there by Dolores Zavaleta dispossessing, and she's almost dispossessed, but now a little bit of a chance for St. Francis. It's going to run wide and past the end line. Yeah, Ohio breaking that 5-game losing streak on Friday against Central Michigan, winning that game 2-0. And that's actually a Central Michigan team that St. Francis faced a few weeks ago on October 2nd up in Mount Pleasant. St. Francis won that game 6-2. Quite a few common opponents between these two teams.
Yeah, over the last 4 games, St. Francis has gone 2-2 with a win over LIU, which is a fellow NEC opponent. So it's a good conference wins there for St. Francis. But they also, like you said, beat Central Michigan 6-2, and then ended up losing to Wagner as well as Fairfield. That score, Friday was 3-1 in favor of Fairfield over St. Francis. So definitely a little bit of momentum swinging around here between the Bobcats and the Red Flashes.
And on the field, Ohio's able to dispossess and have a little bit of a run there. It's going to go past the end line.
That was a good job there by Caitlin Whittle, just keeping the ball alive inside the attack circle, trying to get something going for the Bobcats.
Ohio will have it. Try to get it in the center circle, and going to be stopped just outside of the circle, semicircle there. So
it was Lichtenberg who was fouled there on the top of the key.
No penalty corner, barely though. Good job blocking it there by St. Francis. Ohio not able to keep possession, and St. Francis running the other way. The Red Flashes will slow it down.
That was a good job by there, Noah Desmarais. Stepping in front of 2 St. Francis attackers, kind of slowing down their offense, allowing Ohio to get back so St. Francis doesn't have numbers going the other way.
Claudia Ortiz with it. Into the semicircle for St. Francis. A little bit of a jam there. Right at the top, and
Sasha Dakota putting her body on the line there, blocking a potential St. Francis attack. It was a good job by her. Just kind of put her stick down and block the way there for St. Francis.
Yeah, but it's going to end up being a penalty corner here off of that play, and so we'll see what St. Francis can do on this penalty corner. On the year, they've had 82 penalty corners on the season. St. Francis coming in scoring 1.79 goals per game. Ohio scoring 1.77. It's Macy Lotz in at goal. She has 9 saves on the year.
Yeah, Macy Lott's taken over for I'm assuming an injured Neeli Grainer. She suffered a pretty big collision in that game against Ohio State, and Lotz has taken over so far for the Bobcats.
And shot blocked. Good down there by Lotz.
That was a great job there by Lotz going down, protecting that left side of the net. It was definitely, they had some daylight there for did St. Francis, but nothing doing there. Lotz says no.
St. Francis will keep possession. As that'll go through everybody, and Ohio will get possession. A little bit of a missed opportunity there for the Red Flashes. Did get a shot on goal, but not much else.
Yeah, you mentioned shots and shots on goal for St. Francis, averaging about 11 shots per game here, and that's definitely been enough to get them through a decent part of their NEC schedule, but maybe it's not enough to beat the Bobcats here today.
We'll see. St. Francis already trails 1-0. Red Flashes will be dispossessed, but it gets away from Ohio. And over on that far side, a little bit of a trip, and St. Francis has the ball. A little bit of an opening there, unable to get there. Good job by the Bobcat defense, keeping the passing lane shut there. Finally getting it through, and we're going to have another penalty corner, perhaps.
Yeah, that was Maggie Lawrence there on the far side who ended up turning the ball over to St. Francis, and then she was the one, coincidentally, to be there right at the top of the key to deny St. Francis into the attack circle. So good to see her getting going here early in this one.
The referees are going over and
yeah, not sure what they're going to take a look at here.
They're reviewing something. Okay. So,
yes, both teams are just kind of sitting, waiting in the attack circle for the referee's decision. I'm kind of confused on what they would be looking at here.
Yeah.
Maybe a potential penalty. Ohio's been very good so far this season about staying off of the penalty kill. Haven't taken too many 2-minute or longer penalties so far this year. They've been pretty good at forcing them. On the other hand, you remember in that Kent State game not too long ago, they forced a penalty late in the game, ended up falling in overtime 4-3, but still forced a penalty late in the fourth quarter against Kent State, which kept them in pretty good standing and with a 4-3 lead going into that one. So,
St. Francis on the year has 4 yellow cards, and our opponents have had 4, as the coaches, Allie Johnstone and Maria Vanetta Soretta.
Yeah, fun fact about Soretta, 15 years on the Ugandan Uruguayan, yeah, national team. Ended up winning a bronze medal in the Pan American Games.
Yeah.
So just a pretty fun fact about her. She's definitely been around the block a time or two. She's seen a lot of things as it pertains to field hockey. Definitely a very experienced coach for the Red Flashes.
And they're going to say it was outside. That's going to be tipped up. So no penalty corner as St. Francis trying to get in. And
a little yard sale action there.
Yeah, down on the ground. And Ohio able to get rid of that scoring chance for the Red Flash, and now able to have one of their own. A little bit of a breakaway here. Running down the field. Looks like a little bit of a 3-on-2. Ohio shot near, and it was over the net. Got deflected there.
That was a good job by Lucy Davis. This is a very clever move through the midfield. Kind of a spinning pass there to Noah Desmarais to keep the rush going for the Bobcats. Nothing new in there, unfortunately, but it's good to see some momentum swing towards the side of Ohio.
Ohio will get the ball near midfield. And that'll be knocked away. Good job getting a stick in there. I believe that's Claudia Ortiz. Got the stick in there. The senior out of Madrid, Spain. It is International Student Day here at Pruitt Field. We'll talk more about that later on. Now Ohio sends one. That'll go long past the end line. Few substitutions.
Yeah, making some substitutions, like you said. Noah Desmarais is going to come off. She's definitely been performing well here. They're going to want to keep that going, maybe keep her legs fresh as we continue through this game with a 1-0 lead here for Ohio.
Ohio will send that one in, and that'll go past the end line again. St. Francis will get possession.
You can see they're trying to look there for Caitlin Whittle on the far side, but unable to connect there was Ohio. But good to see her just in open space. Maybe something they could set up for a future goal later in this game.
Yeah, Ohio going to get the ball now on a little foul there. Ohio's had a lot of chances. St. Francis had one or two as well so far, but Ohio's had the majority of the possession so far. We're just over halfway through this first quarter.
Yeah, I think those chances you mentioned come down to just crisp passing. They're working well offensively. They're finding each other. They're finding open space. And it's working out pretty well, as you can see on the scoreboard.
That one's going to be just a little bit wide of the target. And St. Francis will get possession as the ball goes past the end line. The Red Flash is the player to watch for. I don't think it's very common to have a defenseman be the leading goal scorer, but that's the way it is for the Red Flashes. Eva Valentini with 11 goals on the season.
NEC Player of the Week last week was Valentini. Definitely putting up a very impressive performance so far through this season.
Very impressive. She scored. She has actually a goal streak. She has scored goals in the last 5 games that the Red Flashes have played. Ended up being 6 goals in the last 5 games, but very, very impressive for only the sophomore from Argentina.
That's going to be a dangerous ball there, and Ohio will have possession in St. Francis territory. Definitely been controlling the pace so far, has Ohio, when it comes to offensive opportunities here. Ahead in the shots clock, ahead on the scoreboard. We'll see if they can keep that up.
And they'll put the ball right outside the key. And it'll be passed wide. Trying to get it in. Good job by St. Francis, keeping the ball away and down into the corner and sent down and knocked out of bounds.
St. Francis definitely not going to say lucky, but fortuitous to be in that situation, because they had a new player there was looking for a cutting Sasha Dakotla across the front of the net, and she was wide open, but just able to get in the way was St. Francis to probably stave off another Ohio goal.
It'll be St. Francis dispossessed by Ohio and getting possession right back on the turnover. A little bit of fun, a little bit of stick play there, trying to get the ball away from Ohio, but Ohio will get it, and going to be a foul against St. Francis.
Yeah, Caitlin Whittle definitely playing a little bit more physically here with some clever stick handling and using her body well to shield off that St. Francis defender and keep the ball with Ohio. As I say that, turn it right back over.
St. Francis in a corner, and they're going to try to get out of it. They will not be able to get it. Nope. Good job sticking a stick in there. And St. Francis on the run. Ohio will flag it down in their own territory. And the foul will give them a little bit more space to do so. Ohio on to the near side. That's Emily Risser. She'll send it across. One interesting thing about this Bobcat starting lineup today was there's only 2 juniors and 2 seniors in on it. Really youth-filled lineup for Allie Johnstone.
Yeah, definitely relying on their youth there. As Ohio, they've been doing so all year long. As you look, I mean, just by the eye test, you can see that Ohio's roster just is not as deep as most other teams that they're playing. Actually, St. Francis has probably been the most comparable roster in terms of actual size to Ohio, because that's been a huge factor so far for OU, being able to keep their legs fresh and being able to be substitute players has been a huge key issue that Ohio has been struggling with as they face top teams like the teams in the Big Ten or the other teams in the MAC that just have more numbers than they do.
Foul in the midfield. That'll be sent in, and St. Francis will get it. Ohio will get possession back, and they'll keep it.
Yeah, looking for a whistle there was Ohio, but Noah Desmarais was there to settle it down into the attack
Here's
circle.
a chance. And sent wide.
That was a great save there by Chloe South. It's been her first save of the day. Of course, the first shot by Ohio ended up going in, but she got a pad on that one. That was a big confidence builder there for South.
That it was. We're down to 2 minutes to go in this first quarter. Ohio leads St. Francis 1-0. As St. Francis trying to move it up the field. And a miscommunication there between, looked like Francesca Primo and Kaylin Quinn. Pass was a little bit long for Quinn, and so Ohio will get possession. Looked like that might have been a little bit of a chance for something there if that pass was made. But now Ohio back down the other side of the field on the far side. And that pass is going to be just a little long in the attacking third.
That was 3 very good passes through the midfield by Ohio. Ended up with Maggie Lawrence looking ahead for Whittle going into the attack circle, but just a little bit long. But it is good to see Ohio working well through the midfield as they have been all quarter.
That they have. They've been really good at stringing passes, just getting into the short space of the attacking third. It's a little bit challenged to string together those passes when it's such a tight space.
1 minute to play in the first quarter.
1 minute left in the first quarter.
It seems that Ohio is very content to kind of play a little bit of a game of keep away, essentially, with Mila Kopp there in the backfield, passing back and forth, keeping the ball away from St. Francis. It seems like that's the strategy that Ohio's looking for here.
Down to 30 seconds. Ohio going to send it into the midfield, and it's going to be all the way down almost in the attacking third.
That was a great tip by Sasha Dakota to tip it back and not only keep the ball in play, but tip it towards, I believe that was Lichtenberg down there on the far side of the field.
St. Francis with a counter-attack here as they don't have too much time. Down to 10 seconds in the quarter.
10, 9,
Ohio
8,
dispossessed.
7,
St.
6,
Francis a little chance. It's going to hit
3,
a foot.
2,
Ohio's just going to
1.
send it down, and that'll be the end of this first quarter. Ohio gets a goal early. They lead 1-0 over St. Francis. You're watching Bobcat TV.
After the first quarter of the play, the score is your Ohio Bobcats 1, St. Francis 0.
Check.
Check.
In honor of International
All right.
Student Day here at Pruitt Field, Ohio University Field Hockey would like to recognize our own amazing international players. Noah Desmarais from Belgium, Merle Call and Mincha Lichtenberg from the Netherlands.
lead. A goal by quarter. Looking at stats, shots, Ohio 3 shots on goal to St. Francis's 1. St. Francis does have had a penalty corner. It'll be Ohio. Oh, nearly stolen at midfield. That could have been a really good chance for Ohio, but instead goes out of bounds, and Ohio will have it back in their attacking third from out of bounds. Bobcats. So
See, Ohio's settling back into that keep away mindset here. Just Emily Risser and Mila Kopp playing keep away here in their own end of the field. Very content on doing so, as are the Bobcats.
yeah, and it looks like the Red Flashes are being a little bit more aggressive, kind of pressing a little bit more, trying to force bad passes and fill those passing lanes.
I think they do feel the pressure a little bit from Ohio. They're up Ohio's up 1-0. They controlled that first quarter in terms of time of possession and pace of play. So I believe that St. Francis is starting to feel the pressure a little bit, and they acknowledge the fact that they need to get on the Bobcats now.
Ohio is still controlling possession, as that'll go to Caitlin Whittle, and Whittle trying to make a little bit of a run here into the attacking third. Whittle, nice little pass there, broken up though by the Red Flashes.
Trying to look for Sasha Dakota in front of the net once again. That seems a place that she is very comfortable being, finding passes from Whittle and from Lichtenberg. Sasha Dakota definitely camping out right in front of the net there, looking for some very good scoring opportunities.
Ohio will take it back and reset near the midfield line. Send it in, dispossessed by the Red Flashes. Goes out of bounds. Ohio gets it back on the side. Going to send it near in, and I think that was hit with the backside of the stick there.
That was a great pass there by Lichtenberg, using the blade of her stick in a very clever way to get the ball into the attack circle. Again, looking for Dakota, as that seems to be kind of a favorited target by Ohio midfielders and attack people alike.
Ohio will get the possession near midfield after the long pass, and that'll be sent down near the corner, and long was the pass by Wesley Littlefield.
Yeah, you see Littlefield getting involved more in the offensive side of things. Listed as a defenseman, but she actually more like a midfielder in the way she plays, fast-paced, head up, looking for open passing lanes. She's definitely a very key part of this Ohio Bobcat offense.
St. Francis trying to get it out of their attacking end, and they'll get another chance here as they'll have the out of bounds. They'll send it in. And Aurora, the junior, coming in for Kaylee Quinn as Ohio has it. And they're going to try to make a little bit of a run here. Slowing down a little bit and going the other way now. Wesley Littlefield, a little bit of stick play there. Got it down to the attacking third to Whittle.
That was a really great play there by Wesley Littlefield. Kind of dangled her way out of a tight situation there and ended up keeping that rush alive there for Ohio. Of course, Ohio now keeps the ball with a free hit here. See what they can do.
Up in the attacking third on the far side. Trying to get it near the thing and near and just wide. Good chance there. Able to stop and wide again.
That was Noah Desmarais on that shot. Or, excuse me, that was Lichtenberg on that shot, I believe. Definitely a very good opportunity. She handled the ball really well, circling out around the attack circle. Ended up getting a shot. Just ended up being sunwise. I believe it was deflected in front. There was a lot of traffic there in front of South.
I think they're going to look and see maybe if it hit off a foot or something like that.
Could be. As we see the
review.
Yeah, refs go back to the tent.
But that was, there was a scramble for that ball there. What Ohio tried to do there is almost like in ice hockey, you have that play where you can go behind the net and you kind of send it to the front and send it back. You don't quite have that, no place behind the net, but it's the same concept there where you're sitting there, you're trying to get it pretty much even to where the goaltender, kind of has a little bit of that blind spot there. They can't really see, over there and still see in front of them, and so you kind of have to make them choose. Do they want to go there or they want to go here? And when they send it out in front, you try to beat the goaltender through.
Yep.
That's what the concept was there, and Ohio got 2 quality shots there.
Yeah, that's a strategy that Ohio's been employing pretty much all year long. They like to work it low along the end line there and try to find, like we saw just now, it's Sasha Dakota in front of the net. And what you were talking about, the goalie trying to make a decision between the shooter or the pass, that's what falls to her defenseman. Her defensemen need to communicate with the goalie, say I got the pass, I got the shot, and make that decision clearer for South because Ohio's not going to stop doing that. They've scored on that early. They like that strategy, and it's just going to be on St. Francis with good communication and good defensive ability to stop them. As we see the refs are going to call the coaches together once again. I believe that they've come to their decision, and we'll see what ends up happening here. As Ohio hangs on to a 1-goal lead here. You can see just across the way, Ohio Bobcats soccer is getting underway against a team in red. I can't see who that is across the line there. The refs come out, and it will be St. Francis ball.
So good chance for Ohio, but they are denied. And with 11:08 to go in this second period, St. Francis will send it across the way, and a missed pass there. It'll go all the way and pass through the end line. They're going to keep it to, they're going to give it to St. Francis in the attacking third. And, oh, what a pass. That went through the legs of an Ohio player, but unable to finish on the back end there.
Yeah, Nuke Pleen, I think that in her head she thought that there was no St. Francis player behind her, so she was willing to let it roll in on Grainer and give the Bobcats a little bit more time and space. But unbeknownst to her, there was a red flash attack right behind her. Good chance there for the Red Flashes.
Ohio through the midfield, possessing the ball, and now into the attacking circle. Close, a little bit of contact between sticks. And we're going to have Ohio's first penalty corner of the day.
That was great hand-eye coordination there by Whittle. Being able to play the ball down off the pass in the attack circle and not only get a shot off, but get a rebound chance off. Definitely showcasing her offensive ability as we get to see the first Ohio penalty corner of the day. Noah Desmarais sending things in for the Bobcats. This is a good opportunity here. Watch for Mila Kopp there at the top of the key. They like to play the ball to her and use her shot, very strong shot, and then look for a rebound in front of the net with Whittle and Lichtenberg.
Ready to send it in. It's sent in, and a little bit misplayed there. It kind of bounced over the stick on trying to stop it. But Ohio, wide open net. Great job trying to slide over there.
Oh, how did that stay out of the back of the net?
Stayed out of the back of the net. That was an incredible save. An absolutely incredible save by Chloe Slouth. I mean, she just glided over that AstroTurf.
South coming out of nowhere to rob Noah Desmarais right in front of the net. She sent the penalty corner. She kept the ball alive by, sitting right there on the near post looking for that rebound chance off the shot there. The ball was misplayed out of the penalty corner by Wesley Littlefield, but actually she kept her composure, kept with it, ended up getting the ball to Mila Kopp, who worked the ball around in front. Good scoring chance there for Ohio.
And now Ohio trying to have another one here, but St. Francis unable to clear it. And now they have possession and will clear it near midfield, where Ohio will take possession back. No! The Red Flashes with an one-on-one, just a little wide, and that'll roll past the end line. Very, very good chance there for the Red Flashes, though, as they had a player deep, Chloe Butts.
Definitely a great run there for St. Francis. Has really been the only, odd man opportunity that they've had so far in this game. Definitely picking up a little bit of momentum. You can see it in the St. Francis players. They just got a little bit more pep in their step in this quarter.
That they have. St. Francis will send it back now, running it up, and that'll be blocked by Ohio. St. Francis will keep it. It's Melee, Melee, up and into the attacking circle, where dispossessed by Ohio. Ohio gets it out of the attacking circle, trying to get out of harm's way. And the Red Flashes will have it at a interesting angle. Over on the far side there, it's about a 160-degree angle from the goal. They're going to be have to a little bit trying to get in.
Very good work here down low by Maggie Lawrence and Anouk Queen, working together, trying to squeeze St. Francis into that in that tight corner here on the near sideline. Definitely working together very well, denying St. Francis entry into the attack circle.
Ohio's defense looked really good so far. I mean, just look at the fact that St. Francis only's got one shot on goal this entire game, and that's a lot of the factors due to Ohio's defense closing up the passing lanes, especially in the attacking third.
Ohio able to save off that St. Francis possession. St. Francis definitely working the ball around a little bit better. They definitely seem more confident with the ball on their stick than they did in the first quarter, being able to keep possession down around the Ohio attacking third as that ball just roll out of play past Emily Risser.
Yeah, a little bit of miscommunication there, and that'll give St. Francis a little bit of a chance here right outside of the Ohio defensive third. Red Flash sending it up the middle, and no one there, but a little bit of foul there for the Red Flashes. And now, Waldsberger doing a lot of work trying to get it in, but looks like Ohio is going to have a foul against St. Francis.
That was a great individual effort there by Waldsberger, being able to carry the ball not only over the attacking third line but into the attack circle and get a shot off. Very well done there by the St. Francis attackman.
St. Francis really ramping up the pressure here as ball's been down on Ohio's side of the field for the last 3 or 4 minutes. The Red Flash and get it wide. And Ohio tries to stick it wide, but the Red Flash get it back, and that goes off a foot. It looks like the foot of a Red Flash player.
This is a trend that we see Ohio getting into a lot recently. Turning the ball over before they can get past midfield, making very sloppy passes. It's what got them in trouble against Ohio State. It's what got them in trouble against Kent State. And we'll see if Ohio can kind of break that trend here. As you see just now, ball passing through the midfield but unable to find an Ohio player, and here come the Red Flashes back again on the attack.
I think it says something about the Red Flash, how they've adjusted so far in this game, because in the first quarter, Ohio was making those short passes and really moving the ball around very well, and St. Francis has kind of put a stop to that here in the second quarter.
As that ball, I believe, went off the hand of Marla Call there. You can see her. She was shaking out her right hand. I believe that's why the whistle blew. We'll see if that affects the way she plays, because she's definitely a very good stick handler. Marla Call through the midfield. Now, Ohio really depends on her in order to get their transitional offense working. So we'll see if that has any part to play.
Ohio needs to get their transitional offense working, and no, St. Francis gets it immediately off the out-of-bounds play. Ohio able to dispossess, but St. Francis still has it near the attacking circle on the far side. And
we're going to have a St. Francis penalty corner.
That we will. That's going to be their second of the day.
St. Francis was unable to register a shot on their first penalty corner. Good defense there by Ohio. Ended up getting in front of the shot, blocking it, keeping Lutz clean in the net. And we'll see if there's a different result here for St. Francis the second time around.
Clock is with 4:20 to go in this second period, as they think they've changed their mind on the penalty corner. No, they're going to review this as well. And I'm surprised how many reviews we've had in this game today. I've never seen a review in field hockey. I've broadcast these games for about the last 2-3 years.
I haven't seen any
I've
either,
never.
yeah.
I didn't even know they had the capabilities for that, but
They must. I mean,
they do, I guess.
you gotta. I guess. I mean, if we're gonna have reviews, you might as well applaud the diligent referee, making sure they get the call right.
Those officials, by the way, are T.J. Harris and Susie Stammer.
Definitely, like, making sure they get the call right seems to be very important to those two. I'm, again, a little confused on what they're reviewing.
They might be seeing if it was outside the attack circle. It was very close over there on the far side. We didn't have a good view of that, and we do not have the technology for that.
You got that right.
We do not have the technology for that. It'd be nice if we would, and maybe we will in the future, but not at the moment right now. But I mean, I'm thinking something I kind of think about with this is, you know, that normally we don't have very many reviews in these games as they've come to a decision and two coaches called together to have that decision relayed to them. But something that kind of intrigues me, I remember talking with somebody, some high school volleyball officials, and we were talking about it, and they were sitting there talking about how they don't like official reviews because they think it kind of lowers the thing. You know, there's less onus on the referees to get the call right. They can just make whatever call that they might think, and then you can just check that after the review and stuff.
Yeah, that's what you see a lot. Like in the NFL, they'll make the call that is reviewable, so that they can go back and make sure they get it right. But I can definitely see the point of view where people wouldn't like official reviews because it like you said, it makes the job of referee look a little less important.
And it will. This one, it looks like they got it right. I think they got it right after looking on review. So it will be a penalty corner for the St. Francis Red Flash, their second of the day. And that'll be sent in and shot and wide. Might have been deflected by Lutz.
St. Francis will get possession, however, after the penalty corner.
Must have been deflected by Lutz. It was sent just a little bit wide. Or no, Ohio will get possession.
I'm going to keep it with Ohio, yeah.
But good job by the Ohio defense. That was a streaker of a shot, but defended well by Ohio, and it goes wide. Ohio now trying to get it out of their own end, which St. Francis has really dominated possession over the last 5 or so minutes of this game. Will be on the near side here for Risser. She'll send it up to another Ohio player, and that is stick-on-stick contact. There's a Whittle up there.
I think Noah DeMaria was trying to pull a fast one there, try to get or catch St. Francis off guard and replay the ball before anyone was set. As we see Risser gets it back into play.
Ohio take it onto the far side. Send it near the end of the semicircle. Ball bounces around in there. And
we're going to have an Ohio
penalty corner.
This will be the second penalty corner of the game for Ohio. I'm unable to really get anything going on their first one. As we remember, the ball was misplayed there by Wesley Littlefield. Milikop ended up getting a shot off. It was deflected in front a few times. And we saw South glide over to make that save on the last penalty corner.
It was very impressive, but it did not get off to a good start, and I'm sure that Ohio this time will want to make sure they have a good job. But, I mean, that just shows the ingenuity of the Bobcats to really be able to calm that down as they're ready for this one now. Sending it in, and it is going to be placed well, and it's going to be tipped and gone over the net. Tipped off a St. Francis player. Good job getting a stick down there for the Flashes.
That's shot by Lichtenberg. He was looking in front of the net. She had Whittle and Dakotla open in front of the net, trying to get maybe a deflection there. Ended up popping up in the air, like you said, by a St. Francis player. And it stymies that second Ohio penalty corner.
Ohio with a little bit of a poor pass there, and St. Francis will get possession. So nothing going. Ooh.
Caitlin Whittle took that one, I believe, in the thigh area, maybe lower stomach. She wore it like a champ there.
Yeah, those balls are quite hard. It's like a kind of similar material, I think, to maybe a little bit like a golf ball. A little bit like the inside of a golf ball a little bit. Not the rubbery part, but the
I think my understanding of it is it's like a lacrosse ball with a golf ball cover.
Yes.
That's my understanding of it, yeah.
Yes. As Ohio down into the attacking third now. Send it on there. They're going to try to have that play where they try to sneak down the end line, but that's denied by St. Francis.
It appears that Whittle is okay. He, again, got hit with that ball off a deflection of a St. Francis pass, but she appears to be all right, moving well.
Yeah. As St. Francis wise to that play, they're going to try to send it down the line, and St. Francis will get it, but bad pass there by the Red Flashes, but Ohio unable to do anything with it as they're dispossessed, and now the Red Flash is going the other way. Knocked down there. Really good defensive play there to slow it down, and again getting a stick on it. And that is Mila Kopp. Good job by her to get 2 sticks on that and really slow down this possession as we're under a minute to go in this first half. The Red Flashes trying to get something going, but Ohio will send it long, and that'll roll all the way out of bounds inside the Ohio attacking third. Red Flashes will have it there as down about 30 seconds. The Red Flashes get a good pass there. Can they possess it over in the attacking third? And no. And foul there, and Ohio will get possession. They'll knock it back with 20 seconds left in this half. Try to send a little bit long, and get bounced off somebody who's. We're down to 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2. St. Francis trying to hurry up, and that'll be blocked, and that'll be the end of the first half. Ohio scored in the first 2 minutes of this game, and nothing since. Ohio leads St. Francis 1-0 here on Bobcat TV. Ohio starts off the possession of this second half and quickly getting into the attacking end. This is something they weren't really able to do towards the end of the first half, as St. Francis really controlled possession, but Ohio coming out in a frenzy here, and looks like it's going to be out of bounds, and they'll get it out at the attacking third line.
Yeah, that was Marla Call and Sasha Dakota working really well. Sasha Dakota using her speed to get into the attack circle, running down the near sideline as Bodie Littlefield into the attack circle is going to be stopped there.
Got by St. Francis, and they're going to have St. Francis take possession.
So Ohio really starting to use their speed pretty well, as you see Dakota was rushing down the near sideline, got in behind the St. Francis defenders, and some whistles ended up preventing her from getting into the attack circle. But Ohio, working very well offensively, is looking for Dakota in front of the net.
Yep. And so again, St. Francis will try to hurry it up, and it's going to go out of bounds. And it's almost looking Ohio's very, very early, mind you. They're looking a lot like what St. Francis did in the second quarter against Ohio, where they really just focused on sending the ball, or keeping possession of the ball and keeping the fire pretty much lit up against St. Francis's defense. And that's what Ohio's doing right now, is St. Francis enduring a little bit of a press by the Bobcats. Want to get it out of the defensive third, but not for long.
Little thing I've noticed here about the Ohio transitional defense is that they're giving St. Francis passing lanes to find players, but once they make that first pass, there's nothing doing after that. There's nothing that St. Francis can do beyond that first pass.
I thought way out of goal there was Chloe South trying to shut down that line play. We talked a little bit earlier about choosing the passer or choosing the players out in front of the net, or choosing the player on the baseline pretty much. And that time Chloe South chose the baseline and turned that away.
Yeah, Whittle was able to get in very tight. She was boxed in, though, by some red flashes, and there she is again.
Here will be wide, and St. Francis will have possession.
That was very clever there by Whittle, trying to play the ball behind her back, between her legs was where the shot came from. But it just ended up rolling wide there. That would have been a highlight reel goal there for Whittle if it would have worked out for her.
And this one will go long past the end line, and Ohio will get possession. But St. Francis is able to flip the field, and kind of hoping that they can do the same thing that Ohio has done to start this corner, close down the passing lanes and force turnovers. This one's going to be lifted past midfield, and St. Francis dispossesses, but out of bounds. But no, they're going to give it to St. Francis on that far side. They give it immediately back to the Bobcats. A little bit of nobody can keep the ball now, and now Ohio has it on the near side here. Let's send it down into the corner. Good pass there, but blocked in the lanes by St. Francis. Sends it across, and it will go through harmlessly away. Good cross there, good thought there, but nobody really there ready to receive that.
Yeah, I believe that whistle blew just before Lichtenberg threw that ball across the net mouth there, but definitely looking for either Whittle or Dakota on the far side. They were there. They were open. They had plenty of time, as St. Francis is now on the run here.
St. Francis running into the Ohio side of the field and able to possess. No, they are not able to possess the ball as Ohio.
That was a nuke point that was coming back to make a play there. I think that their feet just got tangled up there.
I think her foot might have hit the ball as well, and that might have been why Ohio got the ball. And a little bit of confusion on who has it. St. Francis has the ball now, and Ohio will lose it out of bounds there. Just kind of wasn't able to keep control. There were the Bobcats, and now St. Francis with a little bit of attacking chance here, as they'll set it into the attacking circle. Ohio able to chase it out. Not able to clear. Got it down in the corner, though. And it's going to be able to force a foul and give themselves a little bit of space to see if they can clear this ball now.
It was definitely something you like to see if you're St. Francis. Dolores Zavaleta sitting there at the top of the attack circle, just with the ball, just keeping possession, keeping the ball away from Ohio defenders, something that St. Francis has just not been able to do, just keeping possession inside the attack circle. So definitely some definitely some positives here for St. Francis early in the second half to maybe tie this game up at 1.
Down into the corner. St. Francis will have possession. They're going to try to send an Ohio really pressing. And a little bit of a scrum down there, and Ohio comes out with the ball. Going to get it out of their attacking third at least, and trying to string together a pass. Not really able to find anything, but a foul will give them a little bit more room to get the pass going in the near midfield and dispossessed, and the Flashes end up with the ball. That's Olivia Muffet. Muffet running, and it's going to be dispossessed again. Ohio able to force the turnover there on the bad pass, and Ohio trying to get it back onto the other side of the field. The Bobcats, ooh, good pass there. Able to thread the needle, and 1-on-3 pretty much for Ohio, and Ohio is still trying to get it. Passes back, a little bit more help sent in, knocked away, a possibility for a rebound, but not quite able to find it is the Bobcats, but they'll have another chance here. Really good shot and a good rebound attempt, just not quite in the right spot there. As we're going to have a foul now.
That was an excellent series of events there for Lucy Davis for the Bobcats. Not only did she thread the needle, like you said, made an excellent pass there to Caitlin Little, but she ended up getting a shot off. And although the shot came from outside the attack circle, a rebound opportunity was definitely there, which is how Ohio has been netting so many of these goals so far.
St. Francis able to push the Bobcats back into their own end. They'll possess it there and try to push it back up the field. St. Francis kind of backing off a little bit more on that press, giving a little bit more space for Ohio to pass the ball. And, sliding there, trying to get that ball. And not able to do so are the Bobcats. The Red Flashes will send it out past the end line. Halfway through this third quarter, as we're actually a little bit over halfway, with 7 minutes to go in this third quarter, Ohio scored a goal in the second minute. They lead 1-0 over St. Francis.
Lucy Davis again there, forcing a turnover from St. Francis. Definitely having a very big impact here so far in the second half. Lucy Davis doesn't see the field quite as much as some other of the prominent OU attackmen, but she definitely makes an impact with the minutes she gets.
As it's going to be a St. Francis trying to get a little bit of a chance, and I think it bounced off a Bobcat foot, and we're going to have a St. Francis penalty corner.
And that's Barry Littlefield trying to plead her case to the official. I don't think that this one's going to be very questionable here.
Well, at least she can do, maybe she can force another review, but I don't think that's going to be the case. As it'll be the Red Flashes with the penalty corner. That's their third, I believe, on the day. It is their third penalty corner of the day. Nothing going so far on them.
Yeah, he's definitely been able to put up some very good defense against the first two penalty corners for St. Francis. We'll see what they can do here.
Eva Valentini's going to have it teed up for her. Let's see what she can do. She's going to send it in, and it's blocked away. St. Francis still with it in attacking area, and it hit off a Bobcat foot. We're going to have another penalty corner. Valentini, as we highlighted earlier, on a 5-game goal streak, has 11 goals on the season, trying to make it a 6th straight game with a goal, and this might be her best chance so far today.
And that ball was definitely, it was played down there by St. Francis as we see the second penalty corner here going to the near side.
Short one, shot, save, and it gets out, and Ohio able to maybe get a little bit of a counterattack here.
That was an excellent save there by Lotz.
Lucy Davis, and now up shot. Good job blocking it. Good job blocking it was St. Francis. See who that was. I think that might have been Brooke Benson on that far side who got the stick on it and was able to keep that away. But now the Bobcats trying to get back onto the attacking side. They will near midfield, and now up, and it's going to be a foul.
I think that was definitely a big-time confidence save there for Lotz. Being able to just kick that out. This is very good shot opportunity. It was pretty much point blank, and she just kind of kicked it out with her left leg. So being able to stop that one, the first shot of the second half, that ends up going on goal for St. Francis. Definitely big confidence builder to be able to keep this lead here as we tick down here in the third quarter.
Well, here come the Bobcats. As that is Damaray. And she is, I think it's foul against Ohio. So, yeah, it'll be Valentini trying to stick handle her way up through the midfield, but nothing doing. St. Francis will get the ball back. Maybe. But Ohio will end up with it. Foul called, and so red flashes all.
We see Ohio making some substitutions there. Maddie Coomey is going to head off after some very productive minutes for this Bobcat offense, and Lichtenberg is going to head on for Whittle.
This one's going to be floated in, and now the red flash is down in the corner.
Ohio looks very comfortable providing some defense in those corners, squeezing St. Francis down, not giving them a whole lot of room to work with, down near the attack circle for Ohio. They look very comfortable playing defense in tight spaces there, and they're confident that if they can keep doing that, the chances for St. Francis to score are just going to disappear pretty much as we see through the midfield. Lichtenberg with Lucy Davis. That was Maggie Lawrence.
Sent wide and out of play, so that'll be St. Francis taking it over. Is Waldsberger. A little bit of stick-on-stick contact, and Ohio able to dispossess him, and a little bit of a chance here for the Bobcats. Let's see. Oh, wide open, wide.
Nick Queen right on top of the key there. Got it to Lichtenberg in front, and there was nobody home there for St. Francis. It was only South that could have stopped Lichtenberg there. I think it just rolled off of her stick the wrong way as that pass from Nick Queen came in with a little bit of mustard on it, and Lichtenberg was unable to settle it down. This game remains 1-0.
St. Francis trying to get something going here. It is Eugenia Kenny now setting it up down into the corner. And it's going to be Ohio getting possession as sub quick here.
Yeah, it's going to be Marla Call coming on there for Maggie Lawrence. Lawrence put in some very big minutes for Ohio just now, actually, in terms of getting some offense going here. Billy Littlefield's going to battle. That ball's going to roll out of bounds to Ohio, excuse me.
Ohio, a little bit of stick contact and a bit of a trip there. Popping back up is Desmarais.
I think that was a broken piece of stick that came off of Desmarais' stick there. I couldn't see, but I saw something chip off there. I don't know if that was a piece of stick or maybe like a leaf or something. But
there could be a little bit of a wrapper on there as well, perhaps. 1:45 to go in this third quarter. St. Francis trying to force the ball up forward, but Ohio able to dispossess, and now like that might have snuck out of bounds.
You can see Coach Johnston there on the far sideline there for Ohio. A little bit upset there with the amount of fouls that have been committed in the midfield by her team.
That'll be stopped, and Valentini is pleading her case for a penalty corner. None doing, and Ohio's running back down the other side of the field.
And that was Marla Call there. Or she ended up blocking that shot by Valentini. It came up and hit it. You saw her; she immediately reached for her chin, as if she got hit by a stick or a ball there. But good job there, putting her body on the line, blocking that shot for St. Francis.
As this will tip over, and suddenly St. Francis with a great opportunity here. 2-on-1, Ohio trying to get back. Shot wide, just wide. It got past, lost there, but just a little bit wide was the shot there by Kenny. And now Ohio trying to go back the other way as there's 25 seconds.
Yeah, the Ohio midfield defense have kind of broken down here as of late.
Valentini gets a good pass in, a little bit of space there, but unable to get the touch with 10 seconds to go, and that'll probably be the last play of this third quarter. But St. Francis really getting some good opportunities here. They still are looking for their first goal as they trail Ohio 1-0 at the end of 3 here from Pruitt Field. Back at Pruitt Field, ready for the final regulation quarter of this game. Ohio scored a goal in the second minute and since then have led 1-0, but quite a few chances for the Red Flashes in that end of that last corner.
Yeah, it seems that both teams came out with just a spark into the second half. You see Ohio, if you remember back to the very first possession of the first half, Sasha Dakota was running very quickly down the near sideline and using her speed to get a good chance for Ohio.
See, Ohio with a bit of a chance here. Nope, nothing there. Trying to get the stick on the ball, but ball bounced away. Oh,
smooth
a little
move
bit of
there from St. Francis.
Play. My goodness. And now the Red Flashes trying to get into open space, and they will a little bit up to midfield. Sending it across and into the attacking third. Able to just keep it inbounds down into the corner, but nothing going. Ohio able to intercept the pass. Shots on goal to this point. 6 shots on goal for Ohio, 4 for St. Francis.
St. Francis only having 4 shots on goal so far in this game, as we said earlier in the open.
Oh, really good pass open over there. Was St. Francis player. It was either Mattingly or Kenny.
That was Muffet there with the shot.
Muffet, excuse me. Muffet, 26, not 23. Ohio tried. Oh, good jumping the pass there by one Sam Murphy. But Ohio getting the ball back. Going to send it down and misplayed there. Just a little bit of not able to get really a good first touch there, and it goes out.
Yeah, Muffet there got tripped up by Bodie Littlefield through the midfield. Looking to get something going there as she ended up intercepting a pass between 2 Bobcats. Got tripped up. Seems a little bit unhappy with the ref's decision not to call that a foul, but nonetheless, play continues here on the far sideline.
St. Francis. Number change as Rissers changed from jersey number 16 to 17. As Ohio trying to get it, and that's going to be stopped by Murphy. And I'm not sure where that pass was going, but either way, St. Francis ends up with it back as they're just struggling to keep possession of the ball. They've not been able to string together passes so far this quarter, are the Red Flashes.
Great persistence there from Dakota, being able to beat not 1 but 2 Red Flash players through the midfield. She ended up dishing the ball off to Day Murray, but good effort by her to try to get the ball over into the attacking third.
The Red Flashes will send it down into the attacking third and see whose ball that will be. They'll give it to St. Francis. It might have been a foul called, actually. The Waldsberger will send it over to the far side. Getting a foul, and that's going to be against St. Francis. So Ohio with possession as Lucy Davis comes back in. She had some productive minutes in that third quarter.
Yeah, definitely a big spark here for this Ohio team. Lucy Davis had some very good offensive opportunities and was able to feed the ball to other players very well. As we see Ohio working the ball around pretty well now, Bodie Littlefield and Sasha Dakota on the near sideline.
Murphy able to dispossess, but now dispossessing. Dakota has the ball now. A little bit of stick play. Trying to weave her way through, battling with Murphy, and Murphy ends up with the ball. Good job by the St. Francis defense there, and suddenly they have a little bit and just a little bit wide. It looked like they had a little chance at a breakaway there, but not able to find Claudia Ortiz on the pass, but they're going to have it on the sideline here.
Something that definitely is a big point here is Valentini, we said coming into this one, leading goal scorer for the Red Flashes, leads them in total points, 35 total shots on goals going into this game, and we have said her name very little so far through this one as we see Dakota
with a chance. Shot. Good kick save. Dakota trying to get the ball back. It is kind of covered, and it's going to be a penalty corner, but a very, very good save by South. That was going into the net, but a great kick save there.
Very impressive there for South, getting some confidence back for her. She hasn't been particularly busy as of late in terms of just straight-up shots on goal, but definitely you can see there she was equal to the task by that Dakota shot. And this game remains 1-0, but we'll see if that stays for long as Desmarais lines up for the penalty corner.
See what the Bobcats can do here.
Very familiar setup here for the penalty corner with Lucy Davis and Mila Kopp here looking for this shot.
They'll send it in, and shot tipped around and goes out of bounds.
Yeah, that was
St. Francis.
That was a Nuke Queen instead of Mila Kopp there. Mila Kopp has definitely been the favorite in terms of targeting for a penalty corner for a shot.
Hold that thought. Hold up. As St. Francis with a little bit of a chance here. Can they possess? Oh, spill.
Going
bit
down.
of a spill there for Ohio player. That's, yeah.
She appears to be all right. Went down holding her knee.
I mean, the AstroTurf is a little bit hard. The AstroTurf surface. Taking a tumble is certainly probably not the most comfortable experience. She shakes it off, though, and Ohio takes possession down in the corner.
I think she's going to head off here. Definitely putting in some good minutes, as Marla calls. She's been very important for this Bobcats team through the midfield. Maggie Lawrence is going to head on for her.
And there is Valentini, and she's going to have it taken away there by Desmarais. And now Ohio with the counterattack. Singing it over on the far side. Bobcats trying to get the edge and cannot. They're getting kicked it back out towards the outside, and St. Francis will have it.
You can see exactly what Whittle was looking for there. You can see Lucy Davis ran pretty much from midfield all the way to the front of the St. Francis net. Whittle was trying to go down along the end line, along the far sideline, looking to find her. She definitely spotted up there all alone.
Here comes St. Francis. A little bit of a chance here. Lots able to knock it away. But
I think St. Francis is going to have a free hit here.
We're going to have another review. Fourth review of the day.
Fourth review of this game. Fourth review I've ever seen in field hockey.
Yeah.
But we'll see foul or something that they're looking at.
I don't know exactly.
I thought it was just going to be a free hit.
Yeah, it might have been. They might be looking to see if it might be a penalty corner on that. I'm not sure. But that gives us a stoppage with 8:23 to go. And while we have a moment, it is International Student Day here at Pruitt Field, as we've mentioned. And there's a lot on both sides of both teams here. They both have a lot of foreign influence on the teams. You've got Desmarais from Belgium, Call from the Netherlands, Lichtenberg also from the Netherlands, DeKotlas from South Africa, a few Germans as well, Anuke Pleon, and goalkeeper Neela Grainer, who we have not seen today. Even on the St. Francis side, I mean, their head coach she played on the Uruguayan national team. I think I'm pronouncing that right. For 15 years, and then coached the women's national team from 2009 to 2011. Here she's been the sixth season with the Red Flashes, and actually became a U.S. citizen this year. And there's a lot of more. Claudia Ortiz, she's from Spain. Valentini, Argentina, as well as Eugenia Kenny. A few Canadians, Hannah Rohrer and Francesca Primono. Dolores Zavaleta, also from Argentina as well. I mean, and that's the great thing about field hockey is it's one of the most diverse sports that we have, at least here in Ohio. I mean, you see people from all around the world on these teams as they've made their decision, and it's going to be Ohio ball, it appears. So free hit for Ohio.
Not really sure if that one warranted a review. They were going to give the ball to Ohio anyway, and I believe it was just a common foul that occurred not inside the attack circle, but just outside of it. But nonetheless, we're back with action here.
St. Francis pushing, as they're going to say they took the free hit a little bit too quickly. Slow them down on that. There's 8 minutes to go in regulation. St. Francis trying to get a little bit of an angle there. They're trying to do that same play where you get down towards the baseline and trying to get it back for the almost like, not quite like a rebound, but really trying to just get it, make the goalie choose, Do I kind of go for the pass? Do I go for the player? And what do you do there? Get into the peripherals. Is there going to be a penalty corner here?
Yeah, that
for
was
the Red Flash.
Madison Waltzberger was taking the ball down for St. Francis. She had her first career hat trick against Central Michigan earlier this year. Definitely a big presence for the Red Flash with 72 total minutes played this year. And we're going to see them line up for a penalty corner here with Waltzberger on the attacking circle.
A hold it, sent, and tipped around, and Ohio ends up with it. Good block there.
Yeah, Caitlin Whittle there. Great shot block. Tipped it up with her stick. Controlled the loose ball and gave Ohio a little bit of a breathing room there off the penalty corner. Because after a penalty corner, you are down in terms of numbers for a pretty significant period of time with the ball that close to the net. And Weddle definitely did a very good job blocking that shot, giving Ohio a little bit of a chance to breathe and a chance to get back to even up those odds in front of their own net.
And Ohio will possess, but it hit the back of the stick, and St. Francis quickly trying to pounce as that'll go down near. Are they going to be able to save it? Yes, a very good job there by Kenny to keep that ball in play. And a little bit of a free hit as it's just outside of the attacking half circle. The Flash trying to see what they can do with it. Sends it in and kicked away by Lotz right to a St. Francis player. We'll do it again out on the extended side. And Dakota is going to be able to force a foul there. And Ohio able to get a free hit. Great job there on the defensive side for Dakota. Really, really good job there. And she's been all over the field this second half.
Yeah, definitely a very big presence for the Bobcats. Not only is she consistent offensively, being able to spot up in front of the net and consistently put the ball in the back of the net, but defensively and through the midfield as well, using her speed like we saw in the beginning of the third quarter, and being able on defense like we just saw there to force turnovers and to keep possession with Ohio. So it's definitely a very key player for the Bobcats.
I'm going to give the ball to Ohio as it goes out of bounds. Down to about 5.5 minutes to go in regulation. Ohio's defense trying to hold up. Ohio scored a goal in the second minute, and it's been scoreless since. Trying to get a little bit of room here. Bodie Littlefield dispossessed, and now the Red Flashes, well, that'll be dispossessed as well, that time by Plina. So we'll see a little bit of stick-on-stick contact, but play on. Ohio, a little bit of a pass there, kind of behind-the-back type thing. Try to get the defense caught off guard, but not able to connect there.
And that was Whittle working with Maggie Lawrence in front of the St. Francis net, looking for something going on there, but just Lawrence unable to settle down that pass from Whittle, because she definitely had some pressure on her from St. Francis as Lawrence is going to head off now. But, again, productive minutes there for Maggie Lawrence. She comes off the bench pretty regularly and definitely makes an impact with the time that she gets.
Ohio trying to get, as it's Mallory Lindsay on the near side. She's going to try to get it to Bodie Littlefield, and it ends up in the hands of Eric's shot in the net and in! Goal, Ohio. It was tipped around a little bit. Great pressure, and that was all really started by the freshman from Granville, Ohio, Mallory Lindsay, getting down the end, finding a little bit of an angle, and getting the goal, able to get the opportunity, and Ohio able to get the goal on a tip-in. Confirmation on who they're going to credit the goal for. But in the 56th minute, Ohio gets some insurance, and that should be able to be enough for the Bobcats to take this one. But hold on here. St. Francis trying to get it.
That was very good work there from Ohio down in their own end in front of the St. Francis's net. They definitely got a lot of traffic in front of the net and took the eyes away from south. As Bodie Littlefield's going to get credit for that goal.
Yep.
like we said earlier, getting traffic in further than that, taking the eyes away from South. She can't save what she can't see. So does a good job there, sticking to your strategy by Ohio, and Littlefield was able to take advantage of that traffic and those screens in front of the net, tipped around in front, ended up in the back of the net for Ohio. It's 2-0.
Yeah, Littlefield, that is her first goal on the season.
And we'll see what strategy the Bobcats opt for here. As
Lindsay's going to be on the far side again. Similar setup to the first one. She's going to go down to the corner and just kind of let it go out of bounds there.
As we saw when Ohio was up 1-0, they definitely took their time, played a little bit of keep away. We'll see if they stick to that strategy here. Now up 2-0 with time running down here in the fourth quarter.
Under 3 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, and I think they're just trying to possess the ball, kind of keep it down in the corner, keep it in areas that are really densely populated, and so Red Flash don't have really any chance for a counterattack. Knocked down there by Lucy Davis. Good job by her. And now Mallory Lindsay. Lindsay on the day actually just subbed in for the first time. So really making an impact pretty much as soon as she comes in as a freshman, and able to make a little bit of space for that goal, and really being around all these plays now since she's been subbed on just 2 minutes ago. So I think she might be working her way towards more playing time in the future based off her performance in the 2 minutes she's been in so far. And it's Bodie Littlefield.
That's what we said earlier about the size of the Ohio roster, but no matter the size of the roster, the talent is still just the same and comparable to any team they've played so far this year, as you see there with Mallory. Coming off the bench, but still providing very valuable minutes and very productive plays for Ohio.
Ohio now trying to play keep away as we're down to 100 seconds to go in this game. Ohio leads 2-0 now. It's going to be kicked away. And Valentini has the ball now. Valentini gets dispossessed, and it looks like her scoring streak, unless something drastic happens now in the last minute 15 of this game, will come to an end at 5 straight games with a goal. Very impressive streak, though, as Red Flashes are trying to put together something here. As we dip to under a minute to go in the game.
1 minute to play in the fourth quarter. 1 minute.
And it'll be tipped there by the Bobcats. And running wide, they'll let Lucy Davis let it go wide. 45 seconds to go.
Yeah, that's a play there that Noah DeMarais likes a lot. Being able to find in this instance, Lucy Davis, on a long home run type of pass, getting in behind the St. Francis defense. Noah DeMarais has employed that strategy a lot so far this year. It's paid off pretty well.
There's a shot, and it'll be saved. Few chances, but knocked away. 20 seconds to go and counting.
That was a good save off of the upper torso there of South. Being able to get a shoulder on that one. There's a pretty point-blank chance there from Weddle.
That'll be possessed by St. Francis. They'll try to get something, but they're not going to get anywhere close to the attacking half circle. And that'll be it. Ohio wins 2-0 over St. Francis. That's the 4th time they've beaten the Red Flashes. They've played. This is the 5th game they've played since 2011. And in the end, they'll have 2 goals. First in the 2nd minute by Sasha DeCodla. A goal number 3 on the season for her. And then in the 56th minute, Bodie Littlefield, her first goal of the season. Ohio outshot St. Francis 14-7. St. Francis had 7 saves compared to Ohio's 9 shots on goal for the Bobcats to St. Francis's 5. But St. Francis did have they were pretty solid in today's game.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think there's definitely some positives here for St. Francis. You look at the scoreboard, it's not where they want it to be. But there's things to kind of hang your hat on. They worked well through the midfield. Their goalie, South, played fantastic. Other than those 2 that just kind of got past her. But on the
those were screened as well, pretty much.
yeah, there was a lot of traffic in front of that net there for St. Francis. So there are definitely some pluses there as they head back to go back into Northeastern Conference action. But on the other hand, for Ohio, it's a huge confidence-building win. You have your junior goaltender, Macy Lotz, that came in, records her first shutout win of the season so far, and Sasha Dakota, again, putting on a fantastic performance and really leading this Bobcat team to a win here over St. Francis.
And it's definitely a confidence builder for the Bobcats. Their second straight win, able to balance out that record to 7-7 now are the Bobcats after that 5-game losing streak. Nice to have a streak in the other direction. 2-game winning streak for the Bobcats. They'll be up next at Bellarmine on Friday. That's a conference game. Only 2 conference games remaining and only 1 home game remaining for the Bobcats as they take on the 28th. That is 2 Fridays from now. They'll host App State before the MAC Conference Championship Tournament in Oxford. Well, for Charlie James, I'm Carl Blaylock. Your final score tonight from Pruitt Field. Ohio defeats St. Francis 2-0. Thanks for tuning in. You've been watching Bobcat TV.